Now we are at the last part of our maps and location. Till now, what we have learned is how to set up Google Maps. We've seen some features of Google Maps like geocoding, map types, user location, and also added some markers, cool markers, remote markers. At the same time, added some marker events. The last section that I have is overlays for you. And overlays is more like adding overlays to your map. So you can add circles, you can draw lines between different points, different lat longs, and you can create polygons. Now how many sides does polygons have? More than three sides. So a triangle may be a square, a rectangle, a polygon can be a pentagon, a cap with five sides, six sides, seven sides. So we have to define how many sides do we want to display. Now these are used, circles are used usually to show radius, and with circle you just have to specify two things: the lat long and how much radius you want to cover. For drawing lines, you'll have to specify 2 points or more than 2 points. It's also called polylines because you can add more than two lines together. And then there's more than 2 points together. And then we have polygons, which where we'll have, let's say if you want to draw a pentagon, you need five sides. If you want to draw a hexagon, you need six sides or more. So let's look at how to create circles and lines and polygons on your project. So we already have a project that we built till now, and that displays a bunch of different stuff. A lot of things been added to this. I don't want to start from scratch because I already have maps running, everything working here. So let's say I want to add a circle to our map. Let's say wherever I say, let's say if I search for NYC, let's go, I have a icon here. So this guy, I want to add a circle around it, so it just shows me a radius of, let's say, a mile or few, I guess it's in kilometers, so it'll show probably in kilometers. So if I want to do that, what should I do? So for that, I'll have to create something called as circle object. So let's go back to where I'm adding those markers. I'm adding markers in, where's our function set marker? Right over here, set marker. This is where I'm adding the marker. Now I want to add the circle around it. So what I'm going to do is, let's say, let's create a circle or a circle object. I'm going to call it shape, or just for simplicity, let's call it circle. And then I am going to say shape or of circle equal to draw circle with a lat long. I need to provide lat long to this. Do I have a lat long here? I have lat and long separately, but I can provide lat long, something like this. And let's create a method draw circle, and inside this I'm going to draw the circle. Sounds good to me. Okay, now how do I return back a circle? So just like, I'm just gonna write the code here because I want to return it back. So just like marker, all you do is say add circle. This is how you create a circle, and all you have to provide is circle options, similar to marker options. You added marker, something, add marker, similarly add circle and give circle options. So I'm going to create a circle options equal to new circle options, and I'll give some properties to this circle option. Now what do you need? The first thing that you need is center with lat long. Do I have that? Yes, I do. So that's the center that I'll give. Next, I want to give a radius. So let's say if I want to give a radius of 1 kilometer, say 1000. Next, I'll have to give a fill color of what color I want to fill it with. Now if I want to give it in hex, I have to provide 0 x and then provide the flags. Let's say if I want red, then I'll have to do something like this. But if I want it to be a little bit transparent, if it takes over the map, this circle is added as overlay on top of the map. If I make it completely opaque, it will just draw a circle on top of it. So if I want to make a little bit transparent, let's say 30% transparent, I'll give 33, not 30%, but 33 alpha. So this will make it a little bit transparent. I can also give a stroke color, which is more like a border color for this. So you can just say color dot blue maybe, and then I can give a width to the border. So I can just say stroke width of, let's say, 3, and then give this options to this guy. Run this. And now when I search for a location, other than adding marker, it will also add a circle around it. So if you, let's zoom out, not zoom in, and if I want, let's say, search for Hoboken, Hoboken, let's zoom out. So if you see, there's a problem. Just like markers, I forgot to remove the circle and it added a bunch of circles. So if I keep on doing this, it'll keep on adding the circle. But if you see here, something that we've done here with the fill color, we made it transparent. So that's why you can actually see the map below it. So what I'm going to do is, other than making it transparent, now I have to make sure that I remove the previous one that I've added. So just below here, maybe after this, after drawing a circle, I'm going to create a function, private void remove everything, which will remove all the markers and the circles. So if I have a marker, for sure I have a circle. So that means I can just say here remove everything, and here I can say marker remove. I can set the marker to null just to save some space, and then same thing with the circle. I can say circle dot remove, and then I can set the circle equal to null. So this will remove the circle and then make that object, that pointer, the variable that I have, set it to null, so it doesn't actually have any memory allocated to it. It set it to null. So let's go ahead and search for it, NYC, and I have a item here. Let's say Hoboken, go, should have reduced the zoom angle. So if you say remove the previous circle and added the new circle, so this works perfectly fine. Now what if I want to add two markers and then draw lines between them? Okay, so to do that, what I can do is can just come here and let's see, to add two lines, so I would need to add bunch of markers. So that means one marker would not be would not suffice. So if I need two markers, I can't remove the previous marker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'm going to create two markers. Create marker, marker 1, comment this circle 2 because I'll not need circle anymore, and I'm going to create a second marker, marker 2, remove this 2 at the same time. So I have 2 points and I just want to draw a line between 2 points. I have my set marker, which is perfectly fine. Marker, it draws the marker. Now when, before adding the marker, what I'm going to do is, instead of checking this here, I'm going to go here and I'm going to check my marker 1. If marker 1 equal to null, that means there is nothing on the map. So oops, I'm going to set this as marker 1. So when you add the first marker onto the map, it will add the marker. Then once this marker is done, all good, nothing else. If I add a second marker, it will check if marker 1 equal to null, nope. Then it will go to this if loop where it is going to check is marker 2 equal to null. If marker 2 is equal to null, what does that mean? Add marker 2 on the map. So I have two markers added. When the second marker is added, I want it to draw the line. So this will draw a line between marker 1 and marker 2. Else, that means I'm adding a third marker. When I'm adding a third marker, I don't want that marker to be there. So I'm going to say I don't want the first two markers to be there. So I want to remove everything, remove all the markers, and then add the first marker. That's perfect. Sounds like the thing that we want to do. Now inside remove everything, I'm going to remove my, probably, let's uncomment this. Sorry, I'll just comment these. Let's say marker 1, marker 1, do the same thing for marker 2, marker 2. Now I need to create a line, and the line is in line is actually called, let me see, did we create a line? No, let's also create a polyline, call it line, and this line we can draw inside draw line method. Create draw line. Now inside this draw line method, I'll have to create line equal to m Google Maps add polyline and that is coming from again polyline options. So something similar to marker options and circle options, I'll have to create something called as polyline options, and let's give it a name, options equal to new polyline options. Let's say dot add some properties to it, of course depending on how many markers you want. I'm gonna say marker 1 dot get position. I want only to draw a line between 2 points. If you want more than 2 points, you can keep on adding more and more points here, and it will keep on drawing line between first and second. If you have one more, second and third, third and fourth, so it keeps on drawing line. And what else do I need? Let's add a color to the line. I'm gonna say colors dot blue. And what else do I need? Let's add a width to this. Let's add width of 4, maybe 2, maybe 3, a little bit thicker. And then here I'm going to pass options. So this will draw my line, and when I want to remove everything, I'll also want to remove line. I can set this to null too, but can leave it as it is. Let's hope. Okay, there's some probably brackets missing in here, so I have this. So this bracket is not close. So let's run this method and see how you can add lines between two markers. So again, I need two markers, and it will not remove my first marker. So let's say I'm looking for NYC, and say go, we'll draw NYC here. Now let's add second one. Let's say Hoboken, go. Now I added Hoboken, but if you see also at the same time it added a line. Now if I search for something else, let's say Statue of Liberty, and say go. I have Statue of Liberty, but does that previous line exist? Nope, not at all. That thing was removed. So if you see, because it called remove everything method, it removed the line too. Now the next point is, so we saw how to add circles, we saw how to add lines, and this is how you can create kind of multiple options to draw lines between 2 points or 3 points or 4 points. So you can be useful for a lot of different reasons or the different apps that you're making. The next thing that I want to do is a little bit more complicated. I want to create a polygon. So I want you guys to understand this marker, this particular set pretty nicely. So I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to comment these markers out too. I'm going to comment out this drawLine function. I'm going to also comment out remove everything. I don't want the line or this particular circle to come in between. So what all do I need? I want to keep track of all the polygon markers that I have. So I am going to create an array list of all the markers. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to call it markers just to keep it simple. New array list. Okay, so this is my array list of markers. Okay, so once I have this, I'm also going to create a static final int for number of polygon points that I want. Polygon points, that's what I'll call it. And let's say I want to start with 5. I want to create pentagon, and then I'm going to say polygon shape. Okay, so I have that. So polygon shape. Also I want to add these markers as and when the user is clicking on let's say clicking on the map. So on long press I want to add markers instead of providing the values here. So what I can do is I can go to my marker options, m Google Map dot on long, from on map long click listener, new on map long click listener. On map long click listener, what do you want to do? I have a lat long. I'm going to say main activity dot add, or what was it, set marker. Need to figure out what that function is that I've added. Oh yeah, I remember. Main activity dot this dot set marker, and what does it know? Locality. So I'm going to just say, for now, just for testing purposes, I'm going to say local, and I need lat and long. So I'm going to say lat long dot latitude, lat long dot longitude. So that's what I'm going to provide. I can get the locality from the lat long point. I mean, I can get do geocoder and then do that, but for now I'm just going to keep it simple. So this is how, what this does is, every time I long press on a place, it will call set marker, and currently set marker is not doing anything, so it will not do anything for now. But set marker, what do I need to do? It needs to add a marker. So how do I keep track of all the markers that I have? So what I'm going to do is, in this case, as soon as user long presses it, I am going to do in set markers is, let's say, first of all, I will check if markers dot size is equal to polygon points. If the size is equal to the polygon point, that means I have already drawn a polygon. So I will say, oh, I think I removed the remove everything function, which will remove all the points and also the polygon. So that's what this function needs to do. So that's what I'm going to create. Next thing, I will have the marker already. Now I'm going to say here, or maybe just here, markers to the array list that I created, add a marker, and also at the same time add it to the Google map, add marker options. So let's say when I click on the map first time, first of all, this array list is empty, so it's going to check equal to polygon points, size equal to 0 initially, right? When I started, when I add the first marker, it says equal to 5, nope. So it's going to keep make the marker, add it to the marker. So it's going to keep on doing this. I want it to keep on adding markers until the size of markers array is equal to polygon points. And when it's equal, what do I want to do? I want to draw a polygon. So that's what I want to do. Let's create this draw polygon method. Now let's feed data to these draw polygon method and remove everything method. Now again, as you probably have already guessed, polygon, to create a polygon you need polygon options, options equal to new polygon options, and in here I can add a fill color. Just say just give a transparent color, let's say 3 just same as before probably, or maybe this time a little bluer color. Dot stroke width equal to 3. I'll give a stroke color equal to color dot, let's say color dot blue, or I can change this, let's make it red this time. So this will create my polygon options. Once I have that, I'll have to say for int, I'll have to get all the markers and draw the polygon. So I'm going to say I equal to 0, I is less than polygon points, I plus plus, let's say options, the polygon options dot add markers dot get item at I dot get position. So it will, at I it will get a marker, and for that marker it will get position, and that's the lat long it will add here and keeps on adding the shape. So then I will say, did I create a polygon shape? Yes, I did. So to this shape, once I'm done with this, I'm going to say shape equal to m Google map dot add polygon, and the polygon is coming from options. So I have my polygon drawn. Now this is how you draw a polygon. Now if I want to remove all the items from my map, so I'm just going to copy paste this code where I'm looking in the marker for each and every marker into markers, removing all of them. I'm clearing the markers array and then removing the shape and setting it to null. So let's see what happens here. As soon as I run, when I click on the map, long press on the map, because I've added this code here on the top, set on map long click listener, it will call the set marker method, and set marker method is right over here. It's gonna check, let me just zoom out a little bit, tad bit here. Okay, now let's say if I long press here, so there you go, it adds a marker. How? It'll check if the size equal to 5. It's not, so it's gonna remove, it's gonna just go here, create marker options, Add the marker to the markers array. So what is the size of markers array now? 1. 1 equal to 5? No. So I'm going to do one more time. Second one is added, does the same thing. Third one, fourth one, and when I add the fifth one, what happens is the markers array is 4 now. When I add the fifth one, it will check size equal to polygon point. So 5 equal to 5. That's why it draws the polygon. Now if I try to long press again somewhere, let's say in University Park, if I long press here, it just adds it. How? Because it checks first size equal to polygon points, remove everything. It removes everything and then adds a new fresh marker into the markers array. That's how this polygon works. So there's a lot of code that we've added. I'd like you to kind of go through this and then code this and practice it, and you learn more about maps. So this is all that I can talk about maps. We saw a bunch of different stuff. As you know, we spoke about initially with the the map setup. Then we looked at some of the features, we looked at how to add markers and stuff, and then finally we looked at overlays. So this is all that I have for markers, for maps, and for everything that you can do in maps. If you have any questions, let me know.